The Nagasaki bombing, of course, with so many world leaders in attendance, and those memories will continue to be there. Moving on now, though, as Russian President Vladimir Putin has held calls with the leaders of India and China ahead of his newly announced summit with US President Donald Trump in Alaska. The talks come as Trump's deadline for Russia to accept a peace deal or face steep secondary tariffs expires. Reports say Putin is seeking major territorial concessions from Ukraine, including control of Donetsk, Luhansk and Crimea, in exchange for halting the war. Meanwhile, China's Xi Jinping welcomed US-Russia dialogue, while India's Narendra Modi thanked Putin for sharing updates. Putin also spoke with South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa, the UAE's Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. All are part of the BRICS group, seen by Moscow as a counterweight to US influence. Well, of course, this meeting comes in the midst of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The US has been deeply involved in trying to end this war. Russia speaking with several allied nations ahead of this meeting. The details are not, of course, public, but we understand the situation surrounding many of these nations purchasing Russian oil. Also part of BRICS, an alliance of nations that, as I just mentioned, is seen as a counterweight to the US influence, a sphere of influence that, of course, is evolving under US President Donald Trump. But this situation is in the midst of war. Western allies of Ukraine have been pushing for a ceasefire deal. Ukraine have been looking for a ceasefire deal that won't need to have land handed over to Russia. Donald Trump implying that this could be a way forward for the deal. Questions will be raised in Ukraine. Questions will be raised by Western allies who have pushed, of course, with having Ukraine's back on this situation. A lot to digest, and we will do that here on NewsX World.